Alright, so I'm coming at you again with another Adult Swim show I'm going to talk about. And today we're going to talk about the Brak show. I don't feel like grabbing the DVD this time. I'm not going to do that again. Because if you guys want to see the DVD, I did do a short on that one. So you can go check that out. Because it's basically the same thing. It's just a complete collection of the series. Anyway, shout out to my Patreon supporters again for allowing me to get this. I did get it signed by Andy Morell, by the way. He signed all the discs too, I believe. Which is funny because I didn't ask him to. But I'll talk about my experience with Andy Morell in a second. But if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, all that good stuff. Click the bell button for all notifications, and so you get notified when I upload videos and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's talk about the Brak show. Probably one of the funniest early shows on Adult Swim. So let's get into it. So to start off, I guess I'll kind of have to go back to the early days of Adult Swim, because that was one of the launch shows for Adult Swim. And I remember my brother and I were really excited about the Brak show when it came out, because we were like, holy crap, Brak's actually getting his own show. Because if you guys don't know, Brak is from Space Coast Coast to Coast, and we didn't know exactly what the show was, but anything with Brak, we knew it was going to be pretty funny, and it's pretty funny. So the show centers around Brak, his mom, and his dad. And what's really weird is his dad's like a human, and his mom's like whatever Brak is, an alien, whatever, cat, whatever the frig Brak even is. I don't even know what he is. Do they even say what he is? I don't know if they ever like say if he has a race or something like that. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. Anyway, it centers around Brak, his mom and dad, and Zorak, and their next door neighbor, Thundercleaves, which is like a giant killer robot, I guess. But anyway, the show basically centers around Brak and Zorak getting into trouble doing things. Mainly Zorak's fault. But they're basically getting into trouble doing stuff. Like one of the funniest episodes is when they have to babysit Thundercleaves' pet fish. What the hell was its name? God, why can't I think of its name? Damn it, what was its name? I honestly can't remember what the hell its name was. I remember the dumb song they made up with Thundercleaves, who's actually voiced by Carrie Means, the voice of Frylock, which is a funny little tie-in with that as well. And I'll get to that in a second with Thundercleaves. But I don't remember what the fish's name was. But anyway, so Brak has to babysit the fish, and then Thundercleaves has this song made up. It's like 3 hands will kill him, 3 hands will kill him, don't feed him 3 hands. And then like later on, Brak goes to feed him, and he can't remember what to feed him, and he misremembers what he says, and what he's saying or said, and he in his mind, Thundercleaves says 3 hands will fill him instead of kill him. So he feeds him 3 hams. It kills him. They flush him down the toilet, which was Zorak's idea. And then the fish's ghost comes to Brak in a dream, I think. I think he was dreaming or hallucinating something like that. And then he says he has like a twin brother that he wouldn't know the difference. And he tells Brak to go to some lake or swamp or something. And then he goes there, and then like he winds up finding him. I think he somehow gets killed, I believe, or something happens to where they don't get him. And then when Thundercleese comes back, he gets mad at Zorak and Brak, and then the spirit of the fish comes and stops him from killing Brak and Zorak. But while he kills Zorak, of course, because Zorak's being Zorak, making fun of him for being emotional about the fish dying, but he spares Brak because the fish says, "Oh, I'm happy being up here," all this other stuff. And at the end of the episode, they show the fish in heaven, like, dancing around. He's all, like, big and fat, too. It's weird. But one of the other funny episodes is one where Space Ghost actually comes to Brak's house from the future. And I put it in quotes because I don't know if Space Ghost is just being stupid or whatever, but who knows with him. But anyway, he says he comes from the future. He's gonna destroy Brak before, like, he becomes evil or whatever. And then, like, the mom and dad are saying they're talking to Space Ghost. He has an old, like, tape of an actual episode of Space Ghost, like the original show. And they're like, "What's wrong with his voice?" And he's like, "Oh, that's what he sounded like before." I forget what Space Ghost says. He says something like before something. And then, like, because if you guys don't know, the original Space Ghost wasn't really like a comedy show. It was more like an action adventure superhero show. And Brak's voice sounds nothing like the 90s coast to coast Brak. He actually has like a like accent. Like, I believe the guy's like Chinese, I think. That does the voice, so he has like a heavy Asian accent. So it's really freaking weird when you go watch original Space Ghost and see like that, and then go to Coast and just see the dopey sounding Andy Morell Brak. They explain that in Space Ghost like as a radiation joke or something, like he got radiation poisoning or something like that. It messed up his brain or something. I forget. But basically, like, that whole episode is just Space Ghost trying to convince his parents to let him take Brak with him. And Brak and Zorak are out in space and they run into Moltar. And I think he says his name's Kelvin, I think, or Calvin, one of the two. And he's like, "Yeah, my name's Calvin," or something. It's so funny to see Moltar in the show because that's the only time you see him in the show. It's just really funny to see Brak, Zorak, and Moltar just like all together. So they're doing stuff. I forget what exactly they do. They get in trouble. They do stuff, and then they drop Moltar off, and then eventually Brak's parents get Space Ghost to leave, and then Brak's dad was like, or his mom was like, "Why'd you let him in here?" And his dad was like, "I thought he was gonna kill us," or he said something like that. He was scared me. He scared me or something. It's weird. But God, that show is so funny. There's so much funny stuff like this. There's a kid named Clarence that they always hang out with, or Brak hangs out with, I should say. Zorak always causes trouble. There's one with the singing competition that's really funny. I do love that episode where Zorak gets like a new voice and he sings a song that's really funny. Talks about kicking people's asses. That episode's pretty funny. And then there's one with CeeLo Green and like a rap battle episode. That one's pretty funny. And I'm trying to think of any other funny episodes. I haven't watched it all in a while, so I really don't remember. But basically, if you like Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, and you like Brak's character, you're gonna freaking love this show. This show is really funny, and I just love all the references to like Space Ghost, and just Brak gets his own show, and it's really funny. And there's a lot of musical numbers because you know Brak likes to sing a lot, especially in like Cartoon Planet. But there's a lot of cool episodes, and it's funny. The one funny thing I neglected to mention that I mentioned earlier was I forget what New Year's Eve it was, but they did some like New Year's Eve party special thing where like Brak was hosting people at his house, and it was like Master Shake, Meatwad, like a bunch of Adult Swim characters were at like Brak's house, and there was one scene where Thundercleaves is in there, and Frylock comes in, and Frylock says like Thundercleaves, and then Thundercleaves is like Father. So I'm guessing Frylock created Thundercleaves, unless they did that as a joke because Frylock is voiced by the same person. So maybe that's why they did that. But maybe Aqua Teen takes place in the same universe as the Brak Show, because there is one episode where I believe in Aqua Teen where the outside of I believe it's the one episode where the Aqua Teens move into a different house. I believe the outside of the house is actually like Brak's house, I believe. I think. I'm like 75% sure I'm right. If I can find the episode, I'll make sure, and I'll put an annotation or a text box if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Alright, future me here. I know for a fact there's an episode that shows a house that looks very similar to Brak's and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's either Brak's or Thunderclave's house. I honestly don't remember, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's the Mandela effect. I have no idea. Anyway, I just thought I'd add that here instead of doing a text thing. But on with the video. Maybe they're in the same universe. I have no idea, but I think they just did that as a joke. But yeah, overall, and I really wish they would have put that on like the DVD or a DVD of like something as like an extra, because I don't think all those segments are on YouTube or anywhere. Maybe they are now, but I thought that was a form of lost media. I thought, at least the entire segment. I'm not sure. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But in any case, Brak Show is really funny. I think if you enjoy Space Ghost, you will probably enjoy this. It's the same kind of humor, especially if you love Brak and Zorak. And the weird thing is, his mom's voice does change like midway through the series. She's done by a British lady at some point, which I don't know why. I never understood why that was, but whatever. It's fine. It's just weird, but it is what it is. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Like I said, thank you Patreon supporters. Shout out to my Patreon supporters: Matt Y99, Reaper7734, Title Cow, AJ Gatto, Oliver Frederick, Zoa Adfeet, It's Me Charlize, Joe William Swift, Griff17, Charles McKeon, Reverse Security, Zoo Hall, Artistic Tomahawk, Pre-Liab, Just Drew, Arnie Monsane, HHG Fan, George McConnell, Elliot Scott, Benjamin Tellen, Extinctus, Vic Gomez, and I believe there's someone else. That was off the top of my head, too. Let me pull up my list. Plus, I gotta add someone else anyway, because I just got a new one. So, give me 1 second here. Where is the list? And my newest one, I'll do that first. My newest one is Freddy Glad, and let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did, besides Freddy Glad. HG fan, Ellie Scott, Benjamin Teller, Maglosora, Big Gomez. Oh, I almost got everybody. That was so close. Anyway, thank you all for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you to my membership people as well. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed this video.